Improving oral language proficiency among English language learners. So I'm an ESL, or English as a Second Language teacher, and in my 4 years of teaching this subject, I've noticed a lack of growth in the oral language proficiency of my students. This led me to the question, how can educators work to improve the oral language proficiency of ELLs? So populations of ELLs in U.S. schools are on the rise. If you're a teacher, you may have noticed this in your own schools. And as these populations rise, so does the need for adequate oral language instruction. So this led me to do this study, and for this review, I used the EBSCO Academic Search Premier with terms like ELLs, oral language proficiency, and class participation. And I found 10 empirical studies that were less than 10 years old, and they were all actionable by teachers. So for my results, I have 3 categories of strategies that are effective. The first is activities, a second is emotional and social factors, and the third is instructional strategies. So for the first category, activities, I only found 2 articles that would fit the parameters for this, so there does need to be more research to find empirical studies that fit the parameters. But the 2 that I found were found to be effective at improving oral language proficiency, and those 2 were performing arts programs and voiceover instant messaging. The second category is emotional and social factors, and the 2 main takeaways from this are peers and motivation have a huge part in the oral language proficiency. It can either improve it, or it can also keep students from participating if these things are a negative influencer. But the higher number of peers that the students spoke to in a target language, the higher their oral language proficiency was. And the last category is instructional strategies, and this can be anything from scaffolding, communicative language teaching, meeting social culture needs, creating a positive classroom atmosphere or culture, and then letting students be exposed to their native language. All of these results were found to be effective at improving oral language proficiency of English language learners, and the only deficit that I noticed was in the activities category, so that would lead me to recommend the following research question: which in-class activities increase oral language proficiency for ELLs? Thank you so much for listening.